Special session.
Well, we have a little handout on the special session. I don't know, kind of looking at 40 different pieces of paper here. And I had even written on my copy, so that's what happens for me. But I did notice that we dated it September 11th. You know, like 9/11. This could have been Arkansas's 9/11, but it was stopped by the legislature. It was, you know, we had five different pieces to the call. Tax cuts. How many of you are for a tax cut? You know, does anybody remember or know David Ferguson, who works with us? He's been writing articles for us for over 10 years. And David taught us early on, he's taught us a lot of what Joe and I know about how state government operates. And he taught us that without fail, this is going to sound negative, I don't mean to be negative, that a governor will come in and tithe back with a tax cut of some kind. Tithing back. It's not really, you know, something that people can feel, but you tithe back. So, you know, I immediately saw that and I thought of tithing back, you know. But it is a good tax cut, and we love tax cuts, and we had cut after cut. So we're pretty soon, if we can slow down the states that surround us and keep them from cutting their taxes, you know, we'll have lower taxes, but, you know, compared to those states. But there is a tax cut. Is that negative enough for you, Dan? Okay, sorry. There was cleanup legislation on the LEARNS Act. You know, you always are cautious when you hear that, when they're going to pass something to clean up a bill, because very few people pay attention to that. Am I right? You get some really good things accomplished if you're trying to, if people think, okay, this is going to put the word not in here, in that sentence, shall not do that, but you know, that's just cleaning it up. So you really have to pay attention. We always pay a lot of attention to those. But this bill was to clean up the LEARNS Act. Ban on COVID vaccine mandates. So what did you think about that, Dan? You know, when you read the title, who doesn't want a ban on a COVID vaccine mandate? I mean, no more closing down businesses because of COVID, right? No more of that kind of stuff. Unless the government pays us to do it. Now I was...
Well, special is specific to government entities. Is that what you're asking?
I'm sorry?
Is that what you're asking, why we didn't include private business in that?
No.
No, it's you don't have to wear a mask or close your business down unless federal dollars are dependent on us making you.
Yes.
That's what it says.
Okay.
So, you know.
Yeah. The point is, you read the bills carefully. We did, and then we did not choose to be against that bill, so it passed. The Freedom of Information bill being the next one, and there's this summary. You got the handout. If you didn't, Joe can get it for you. But
and it's on Conduit News. Everything we're talking about here is on Conduit News, or Conduit for Commerce.
So this was 9/11 on Monday, 9/11 special session, and it sort of opened up a can of worms, so to speak. The FOIA bill was something that appeared to be something that the governor really wanted. It had a security piece to it. It said, you know, government attorney, you copy the government attorney, that it can't be released. If the collaborative process, when government agencies get together or any elected officials and talk about how they do things, those things are not discoverable. And then striking incentive, you know, attorney's fees cannot be recovered against the government. And then, you know, looking at it, when you copy a lawyer into a body of government, and so anything the lawyer says, well, somebody can sue us on that, you don't have to disclose. And if there are no attorney's fees any longer that can be recovered when someone sues, well, government, you won't give me that, so I'm going to sue you, and then I can recover attorney's fees like the law says right now. If that's taken out, then to us, to Conduit News, Conduit for Action, they gutted our FOIA, a good bit of it, and it would have no teeth at that point. And so we were surprised to see the opposition across the state agree with us. Now the left agreed, of course. You know, they're part of the reason right now we're weaponizing really our FOIA bill. We know that there's some problems there, but government transparency is for government. Okay, privacy are for individuals. And so people like you guys, I don't know how active you were in that FOIA, conversation, but the legislature heard you. And so they threw out that first bill, didn't go anywhere. The second bill came up a little bit better, but pretty much the same thing, no go. And then the security piece to what the governor wanted was passed. So there was one thing that was said at the end of that session about FOIA by Senator Bart Hester. We will be back. Okay, so you've got to keep your eyes out, watching what's going to happen. And I don't know what your level of experience is right now with FOIA and using that as a tool to find out what your government's doing. But I think you've used that in the library and a lot of different issues that have come up. Where would you be in your successes if you couldn't find out what was going on? And I think most local people who've had the opportunity to use it might agree. Any comments on that?
Well, a few. There is no doubt some issues with government having to comply with, let's just say they had 10,000 FOIA requests a day. I mean, that is a problem. That would be a problem, right? We'd all agree on that. Well, again, our solution, if anybody were to ask us, which they don't, would be everything you do, put it online. We'd be done with it. But that's not the solution, people are comfortable with that are down in Little Rock making the sausage. They don't want to tell you what that little red thing is in there. One thing, does everybody have one of these?
Hey, Joe, can I speak to that just briefly about that point? Bring in